Are you recording this time, Toad?
Yes, we're recording this time.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to D20, and welcome back to the Firebird Penny campaign. We've got our usual suspects. We have Vagabond playing Damien, the security guard. We have 50 playing Eric, the scientist. We have Toad playing Percival, the Navcom engineer. And we have Kurt playing Kurt the Explorer. We've also been joined by Scaldera, who's taking the role of our construction and engineering officer in his mech suit, who was brought along in the last session. So in the last session, the guys crashed on the planet with a little bit of help from Toad. Many people died, and our little group of player characters immediately decided, screw the other survivors, we're going to do our own thing and fuck off. So they headed off across the plains following the river. Toad attempted to build himself a boat thinking he could sail down the river. It immediately collapsed because he has no structural engineering skill whatsoever. Someone else built a boat, they loaded it up with supplies, and they headed out. They found an alien device that appeared to be some kind of transmitter. Toad activated it, and they very soon after got attacked by a 6-foot-tall cybernetic canine-like creature. They defeated it pretty handily with a little bit of help from some detonation explosives held by 50. And they decided to settle down and camp on the edge of the river. So the guys have settled down and camped, and let's be frank, this intro is a bit weird because Toad forgot to record the intro when I actually did it properly. So I had to include that. I had to include that because that intro was really crap. So we have everyone settled down and camping. The 6-foot-tall canine cybernetic creature with cybernetics beyond what the group has determined human beings have access to is slowly oozing black blood from the craterous wound of a shotgun hole in its head. Our author cum security officer kicked it a couple of times after it was dead just to make sure. And you guys have settled down. Your communications beacon, your communications ray, still telling you that there's some kind of track signal coming from the direction of the ocean. There's still the track signals coming from the south and southwest towards the forest. And also, Toad linked up with the alien device in the last session and downloaded 400 terabytes of useless data that he can't access. And basically, when he tries to access it, he gets the standard message of, you don't have the required software to access this program. Would you like to search Infranet? So,
all right.
What would you guys like to get up to as the day wears on? Because bear in mind, you've been on the planet now for about 14 hours. You've been on the planet now for about 14 hours. The sun still hasn't set. In fact, the sun's traveled about 20% across the distance of the sky. So you're probably in store for probably another 40 to 50 hours of sunlight.
Okay. Is this the time where we could talk?
Yes, go.
I think we should turn around and go towards the forest. I think we should screw this whole mission to the ocean because I was thinking about this. If we get to the ocean and the signal goes out into the ocean, how do we plan on traversing the ocean?
We built a boat.
We have a crappy boat.
We built a shit
I
boat,
can
you
fix a
shitwit.
boat.
I think the forest makes 10 times more sense.
I gotta go with the boat.
Even though my idea was originally the ocean.
I mean, there's a lot more possibilities of danger in the forest as well. We're not really prepared for
You're right. I thought about that too.
If we're in the
don't
open,
we're in the
harder
open.
to
We can see everything coming from miles away though,
We
so we
can't
can
see
prepare.
below us in the ocean. What if there's creatures in the ocean that just swallow us whole?
by the same time, being in the forest, we literally are surrounded
And then I'm
by,
on our own.
especially once night hits. We
I
can't
don't
see that
like
well.
the ocean.
Yeah.
We can't build boats. We have no materials to build boats. That's going to
Okay.
take all of us through the ocean. Now, that's just my own thoughts.
You
Okay,
have no scientific
okay.
proof to say that there's anything in the ocean to
Okay,
harm us,
here's a
or that we will
question.
not have materials to
Yeah,
build a boat.
we have very, very much proof right next to us that there's shit in the trees that can harm us, in the woods that can harm us.
We got
Pick
attacked in the
up.
plains. It's not like we're not going to get attacked anywhere else. I'm just saying.
I'd like to see it coming if it's going to come to attack us, not
Now,
us
that's
blindly
true with
crawling to the
plains.
forest
I
in the middle of the
completely
night.
agree with you. I think the plains is a safer spot than the forest, but I argue that the forest is no safer, or it's more safe than the ocean is.
At least the forest, we have an idea of what dangers there are. I will agree there. The plains are currently the safest bet, so if we could stick to the plains, but scour roughly the outskirts of the forest, maybe get an idea what's going on in there, who's in there, if there's any sort of civilization, if there's other people out scavenging
Exactly.
the ship that
I mean,
crashed.
besides, we can
that's-
also reasonably use the material from our crashed pods to build something. I can build it. I mean, for God's sakes, I know how to fucking build.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just thinking
true.
like how long it's going to take to build something that's going to fit all of us, and how
Couple days, maybe about a week.
Or, like crash or drag one of the escape pods, like what I landed in, to the water because it traveled through space, so it's probably atmosphere tight. So we'll most likely float.
What if it sinks?
Okay.
Again, we can. That material can be used. That's at least a strong base.
I don't want to wait a week.
You said you wanted to drag a crash pod. How many hundreds of thousands of pounds do you imagine it weighs?
Oh.
You work with magnets. Stick with magnets. That's it. There are no magnet trails on the ground that we can drag shit on. We are not that lucky.
We could find more of these things, tame it, and get it to drag it. Because this thing looks strong.
They
Listen,
look incredibly strong, but I'd rather not try taming something that wants to rip open my head and skull rape me.
listen,
you know?
here,
What-
Ruby.
You're fine. It's fine.
To be
I-
honest, like, okay, so we'll drop a little bit of DM information. Like, you guys know that in your colony pod there were a couple of machines. But during your scavenging, you didn't necessarily find any of the functional, proper mecha or functional wheeled or tracked vehicles. There are a lot of these things walking around your ship. They appear to be not necessarily hostile. They're defensive of their territory. But they appear to operate on some kind of hive mind. So you could go back to the ship and build a boat. You could head off into the forest. You could try and explore the plains. You could try and, if you wanted to drag something to the ocean, you could try and either find a way of negotiating or contacting or manipulating these things, because they seem to be quite primitive. They seem to be following, as you noticed, they seem to all follow in a line to the ship, take a chunk off the ship, and then walk back the way they came in a line. So they seem to be quite primitive set of things. Perhaps you can manipulate them with some experimentation.
Let's just
or-
vote.
Yeah, go for it.
I think we should just vote to where we go.
I'm sticking with the ocean. Percival has a lot invested in the ocean.
I think the forest is our best route.
Ocean.
How do you have a lot invested?
I tried to build a boat.
I actually built the damn boat.
We could keep the boat. We could stay along the river. It's not like we have to get rid of the boat. Like, we can keep the boat.
So I say we stick to the plains, but closer to the forest for
I agree.
informational purposes. Let's not actually go into the forest yet, because
Damien has the swing
I
vote.
mean,
So,
it's
half for ocean, half for going back to the ship, right?
No, for
going to the
We
forest.
want to swim, because that's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to swim. So they're going to waste time.
All right. So you're thinking we should swim?
I'm thinking that we should not head towards the ocean. My thought line is we have no idea how far this from the ocean if it's
You're
way
one
out
who's
in the ocean.
talking sense here, so I think we should go back to the ship.
No.
All right, I agree. Okay, I'm in that direction.
Okay. Toad, roll an intelligence check for me.
Worst part of D20 games, rolling the dice.
oh my
Natural-
god, that's more accurate.
Natural 5.
Natural 5.
Plus 1, I got a 6.
Down
Okay.
syndrome.
So, I'm not going to give you a clue because you've missed something about your character that would have actually helped with like indicating on decisions for this, but you've missed it and your character's too dumb to tell you. So carry on.
Yay!
So we have 3-2, right? We're at least heading back towards the ship.
Yeah, headed
Forest
towards the ship
ship.
across the plains. Yeah.
All right, I like it.
All right, question: how far away are we from the actual forest? How many kilometers? Let's say miles.
Well, you walked for about 3 or 4 miles out into the plains before you were 3 or 4 hours out into the plains before you were attacked. So that's about 20 miles. The forest was about 4 miles to the other direction. So you're about
Okay.
25 miles from the forest, roughly.
Roughly a half day's walk.
Yeah, if you put in the effort. I mean, you've been walking and sort of doing things for most of the day. So you're
Considering how it's
probably
been, yeah, then these aren't the regular 24-hour days. Before we start heading off into the plains, I vote we all rest up, eat shit, do what we have to do, and then we'll go.
Okay.
Just basic routine, get ourselves back to, feeling relatively better, full health-ish.
I think that
okay.
sounds
So
wise.
you're going to run a camp. Do you have any particular plans for what you're going to do for the camp for the rest period?
I mean, basic campfire cooking essentials because we all have rations and shit. If we want to,
Yeah.
I
set
mean, I
up a
assume we
tent.
don't have to. Yeah, tent,
You got
basic
stuff to
little
build a shelter
bench.
with?
I'll patrol if you want. I volunteer. Considering that, I don't know if we'll be attacked again.
No,
Someone
no, no. I'm
understands.
the security guard here. I think I should be the one to guard.
I have
No, no,
10
no.
times more experience than you.
Union says security guard gets this job, so I'm pulling
And
the
we all know
union
what the mall
card.
security guard.
Keep pulling rank. I mean, you could technically who would okay. Here's a DM question: who is technically the highest ranking person here?
Because you were heading to set up a colony. Technically, none of you have a rank. Like the
But
colony
during
would have been-
voyage, though, during voyage, I assume there was somebody who would have had some superiority over.
You do know, I was legitimately the navigation officer of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
you're the navigator, but
You're the
that
guy
doesn't
that
mean you know
reads the
shit
map.
about anything
Don't get
else.
ahead of yourself, son.
Yeah, I know how to tell
Oh.
north from south.
And then the other guy's a mall cop. I don't want to hear nothing.
Yeah. I mean, we have a mall cop, a school science teacher, a cartographer.
I'm the guy that's done this for years.
Oh, I love the arguments because I can imagine your characters I'm just a fucking school teacher.
I don't do shit. I don't want to be in charge of anything, but my ideas aren't all
I don't
terrible.
want to be in charge. I just volunteered to patrol. That's all.
Okay, so because you're resting, you're each going to have to take turns resting. So you're probably going to end up figuring out in the end, but Kurt's going to patrol, but in the end, Kurt's going to have to actually come back and rest.
Yeah.
So in the end, probably Kurt and Damien are going to end up patrolling.
Yeah. We could
So can I get a spot check from Kurt and Damien?
Okay. And while they're patrolling, Alex over there, do you want to help me pull this beacon out of the ground?
I got 12.
And 13. Wait, hold on. Plus 4.
Is there anything to add? We said
17.
spot check. How do I look for that? Let's see.
It's in your skills under spot.
So 17.
Oh, 9. So I got a 12 plus 9, 21. No.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
No. Yes. Yes, I
Yes.
can do math. Oh, God.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Slow
Okay.
clap. Slow clap. So with everyone settling down, Kurt takes the first patrol, and Percival asks Alex, our construction guy, if he'd like to help dig the alien beacon they found in the ground up out of the ground while everyone else is doing other things. You settle down, you have a meal. With Alex's help, if Alex consents. Alex doesn't necessarily have to consent. With Alex's help, if Alex consents, then the beacon could get dug out of the ground, but that's up to Scaldira to decide.
I'll consent.
You'll consent. So,
Ha!
You
Screw
guys-
the rest of you that tried to shoot me digging this thing out.
Hey, I'll punch you again.
Don't shoot, Kurt.
I mean,
Hey,
We
in
did
fairness,
both punch-
you were against this last time.
yeah. I mean, in
Wait,
all
no,
fairness,
what?
you were. Yeah.
You
Your
seem
char-
very
yeah.
sketchy to me.
Was he actually?
Oh, man.
what was
He
the-
really was
can I-
against it.
Can I ask the
You know what,
logic behind why he was against it?
Because we were
Um,
wasting time.
yeah, basically because it was taking a huge amount of time to deal with. And he just wanted to get on. And this link is, again, this is the same thing that happened last time. There we go.
Oh, you're
I
good
should
at
have known
that,
that was gonna
droid.
happen.
You're good at that.
Bite me. Okay, so Toad, you can recover your non-lethal damage that you took from being punched in the face twice because you've had a period of rest. So you guys rest up, you eat. Kurt goes on patrol. Vagabond goes on patrol. While Kurt's out on patrol, he spots a couple of the insectile creatures, about sort of like half a kilometer away, roughly. They just seem to be skittering along the way, headed towards the east. A little line of about 4 or 5 of them just headed off, but nothing major seems to be going on. Alex and Percival decide to work together to dig the beacon up out of the ground. They find it to be about 6.5 foot, 7 foot tall. It's a fold-out beacon, pretty simple. It's got a couple of interfaces on it, one of which has been jury-rigged by Percival to allow him access to the computer system, but that hasn't helped much. And they now have a 6.5 foot, 7 foot tall transmission beacon that weighs roughly sort of 340 pounds.
Oh boy.
Yay! Would this be able to be used as an antenna to boost the range on my briefcase of navigating?
Your briefcase of +2 to navigation.
Shit, are we gonna start this all over again?
Yeah, this is going to happen again. Yes, technically it has the mechanical pieces to be used to boost it, but you haven't found any way to interface with the software properly.
But if it's got the bits, like I should, like I'm thinking antennas. Antennas are
So basically
passive.
So basically, you want to bypass any of the computers and just jack straight into
Yeah,
the
just like
antennas.
use it as a bigger frickin' antenna.
If you want to try.
Oh, come on! Stop falling over on different edges. Okay, so that would be knowledge of technology, or
No, that's craft electronics. If you want to basically jury rig into the antenna system, you're crafting electronics, my friend.
okay, then I got an 18.
18? Okay, actually, to be perfectly fair, yeah, you can bypass the actual physical electronics and actually just jack into the antenna array.
Okay, so now with a boosted antenna range, I want to use my navigation briefcase.
For what?
I don't know what it does. You gave me a freaking briefcase of navigation.
It's a navigation briefcase. It contains all of the software and processing that the magnetic lanes navigators use, and your own personal kind of tweaking to the software.
Okay, well I want to try to determine the original source of the large magnetic field then, and the current distortions in the planet's magnetic field to try to locate or narrow down the locations of the other beacons we'll be finding.
Okay. Yeah, using the antenna array and your navigation thing, you can definitely pick up a couple of magnetic disturbances on the planet, things that are misshapes of the standard magnetic field of the planet. One of them is coming from directly south, roughly 100 miles away. There's one coming from the east, probably about 30 or 40 miles away, and you can detect one coming from in the direction of the ocean. Unknown distance.
All right, so
Really?
I have knowledge technology. How far away are we from the corpse of the whatchamacallit?
5-minute walk. Like, you didn't go far
Alright.
from it after you blew its head
Okay,
off.
yeah. All right, fantastic. I'm gonna go examine it. The technology, screw the biology of it. I want to look at the mechanical part. So
Okay, roll away. This is an information gathering episode, I see.
okay, 6. Is that knowledge technology or physical sciences?
That's knowledge
Oh.
technology.
That's 12. So 18.
18. Okay, so you can determine that most of the cybernetics is based on a kind of reactive micropolymer, where basically the polymer acts as microactuators. The polymer is exerted by an electronic force. The electronic force causes the polymer to compress. What's this?
Okay. I don't know.
Oh, hello.
I don't know, but it popped up on my screen.
Okay.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. Someone else posted that.
Well, it's just a different picture of the beacon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the primary sort of like motion and actuations of the cybernetics appear to be done by this advanced polymer, which when exposed to electricity kind of contracts and expands very much like the fibers of a human muscle, but instead of being made of fleshy meat crapness, it's made of semi-biological polymer, which is extremely strong and could possibly explain how it can exert the ability to run when it's got very spindly limbs.
Is there any way that I can disconnect all the polymer and basically I want to disconnect the creature from the machine. I want to, yeah.
The creature and the machine are very much kind of
but like the main parts of the machine.
So you basically want to harvest the polymer.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay, like set to work with a hefty knife. Go for it.
All right. Do I got to roll for that shit? I assume to, fuck all kinds of duck.
Well, like you're not going to like keep any of the technology necessarily fully intact, but you're going to end up with a large amount of this polymer.
Okay. I mean, I with that, I guess I have life sciences. If that would, I don't know.
It's partially organic.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, shit. I don't know. All right. So I'll take chunks of that. Whatever.
Okay. So you're taking chunks of the reactive polymer and possibly some little bits of metal enhanced bones and some. You're taking samples, shall we say? Why is it every single one of your characters ends up cutting weird bits off?
Because I. Yeah.
Hands.
I mean, every time it's come in handy, though.
Fair point.
I do not remember a single point when cutting off somebody's hands was super useful.
The dead thing's hands, I expected it. I didn't know how they would react. I didn't know if they were dead. I was well within my rights to dismember it.
Okay.
Yes.
So, during the rest, you guys have ate. You've rested. You've had a little sleep as much as you can in the bright sunlight. Kurt's patrolled, Damien's patrolled, Percival and Alex have dug the beacon up, and Percival's been messing with it a bit. And 50 has, or should I say Eric, has gone back to the creature that you blew its head off with a shotgun and started basically dissecting it on the riverbank. So he's getting himself covered in black goop. And he's sort of cutting chunks of polymer out of it. He's getting this black oil on his hands. He's wearing his suit. He's getting black oil on the gloves of his suit and kind of like working away happily. Roll a reflex save for me.
Okay, can I re-roll that? Because that is S, but I mean, I'll get 7. Whatever, I'll take it. 7 plus 5. So, math, 12.
Okay.
No! Haha! Screw you.
Take 3 acid damage as the black stuff starts to burn through your suit. You might want to go and wash your hands.
Okay.
Nice.
Welp.
Yep, I will go wash myself and ensure that, yeah.
Okay, Droid.
I'm sad now. I'm sad now.
The signal of unknown distance nearest the ocean.
Oh, God.
If I was to move what I'm using as an antenna, say to a couple different positions, say 200 feet around.
That fucking triangulation.
I'm not finally figuring it out. I was waiting for these guys to shut up. As soon as you said it was unknown distance, I'm like, I'm doing triangulation now.
I've been waiting for one of you to suggest triangulation since I gave you the fucking signal beacon that gave you multiple signals.
I mean, why would I suggest that? I don't know shit about that. That's not my area of expertise. I don't care.
I blame the smart
we
guy.
have a navigator, and he didn't think about this. This is not the
Until
retard's
now,
fault.
at least.
I was too busy with
Okay.
boats and compasses.
God damn it.
So you decide to do a little bit of triangulation, and you decide to triangulate with your magnetic things, with your magnetic detection array that you've built. You determine that the magnetic signal coming from the direction of the ocean, it's probably about 13 miles away, which means it's probably somewhere half a mile off the beach.
And you know what? Guess what, guys? That's the closest frickin' signal. We're going to the ocean. We're gonna have cake by it. Because Pop's
By
on.
the ocean.
No, Toad.
I know.
Oh, you know what? You are forcing me to do this. I was gonna save this bottle of Wisers for later, but I need a drink now. God damn it. You drive me to alcoholism, and yet I love you anyhow.
I have a good feeling about the ocean.
Flip flop.
I keep with the same vote. I don't want to go to the ocean.
Okie dokie. So you finish your rest. You're all set up, and where are you headed? Are you headed to the forest, to the ocean, or across the plains?
I'll go with what the group wants, but I have knots about the ocean.
Ocean.
Not ocean.
Oh, come on. Like, it's the
I'm
closest
Stick with that
signal.
ocean.
We have to travel further
don't
to get
know.
back to the bait, or back to the ship.
Okay.
Then we have to travel to get to the other signal.
We don't know if it's our
Okay,
signal.
would
do
you
we?
like me to lay this out for you in the logical step by step how we're going to die if we follow your plan way?
I mean, then again,
We
Droid
dug-
will
we're
just
on
line
an-
out the possible death if we don't go to the ocean.
We're on an alien planet. We crash landed here.
We don't have to die.
We've dug up a magnetic what the shit beacon sort of thing on an alien planet. So far we've been attacked by a, I don't know, whatever it is, synthetic creature of murder and rape and mayhem. And there's giant insects. Nowhere does digging up a beacon on an alien planet scream, hey, let's go to the signals, because that's going to work out well for everybody. I don't want to be harvested for parts like I did that thing back there.
Yeah.
Let's head back to where there's more people, and then we can fill them in on, hey, head this direction. It's the closest way to a signal. There's
But we're,
enough
like,
of us.
already
we can-
here.
Wait,
But
we're going. I don't want to go
It
back.
could,
We're already here, boo.
but it could also kill us all as soon as we know, or it could be
So,
something
what
that's
else
like
is new?
another.
We, like, left the whole group to do things ourselves.
Yeah, let's not go back to the group. Screw the group.
Let's go to the forest at least.
I'm
It's
fine
away
with
from the
that.
beacon.
Yeah.
Away from the beacon. That's all I want to do is go away from
I
more
just want to
shit.
go home and get
'Cause
off
as
this
soon
damn
as-
planet.
As soon as we got close to this beacon, that thing came hauling ass out of the woods because you started fiddling with shit. So I don't want to
Right.
deal with more things or worse things.
Right. Tell them.
So I vote forest.
Forest.
How many you got for forest?
I.
How about
We got 2.
Ocean.
Alright, come on, be the swing vote, baby.
Me?
Don't switch
Damn.
your vote.
Well, you and I both know my vote.
What's your
Ah,
vote?
obviously
Damien?
forest.
Forest, yeah.
Why?
Yes.
We did 2.
It's so far away.
It's so far away, boo. We'll
Can
come
you see
back
s-
later.
But then
Can
we
you
have to
see
travel like
Scaldera?
3 times as far.
Who gives a
We'll
shit? We'll be
travel later
safer.
far.
We know,
We'll have more
we know.
equipment then.
Exactly. We'll be more prepared. We are so unprepared for anything right now.
You should follow the guy that knows how to track these planets the
Stop,
best, which
stop,
is me.
stop. First off, can you see Scaldera why a 4-hour penny campaign ended up being 21 hours last time?
Yeah. Yeah.
However, can you
Jesus
also see
Christ.
how this is really entertaining YouTube viewing?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Toad, how long have we been recording for?
We are at 29 minutes right now.
Okay, so what I'll do is we'll get started towards the forest because the group is
Damn
heading
it.
towards the forest. And then we will sort of cut it off once you sort of when you get to your first, shall we say, entertainment headed that way.
All right.
So you guys pack up and you head across the plains towards the forest.
Hey, Can I just like grab what I'm using, the beacon I'm using as antenna, and drag it to the other spot? Like, it's only 13 miles away. Like, can I just walk there by myself dragging this thing?
Your lifting capacity in your suit. Let me just open your character sheet for a second.
It doesn't have to be lifted. It just has to be dragged.
Yes, that's right. But on your lifting capacity, it tells me how much you can drag.
Ah.
So your push or drag 800. Technically, yes. So you're just gonna head off to the ocean by yourself.
You're gonna leave the group.
It's the closest thing, and you guys have already left the rest of the group.
Well, technically,
We are the
are
group,
the group.
bitch.
that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, fair enough.
I mean, it's Toad's funeral anyway.
I mean, yeah, you're just gonna go off and die by yourself, and no one's gonna come looking for your dumbass.
Hey, Alex the Metal Man, would you like to join me on a crazy fun adventure in magnetism?
Which is safer, 2 people by themselves or 4 people together? Because I assume I'm not gonna be able to convince dumbass.
That was like a hyena laugh there. That was like
that was a great laugh. Oh,
I'm
thank
sorry.
you.
It was pretty great. Oh man.
All right, so are you gonna go off and die, or are you gonna come with us and
Alex, join us.
not die yet?
Think about it. We have history. We talked about our families.
We have the ocean together. We'll always have the ocean together.
Yeah, go with this crazy guy that wanted to blow
All
up
right.
the whole ant colony when we first.
Yeah. I mean, he also brought that crazy ass beast to us by fiddling with that beacon shit. So I mean,
That's not
Go out there with
scientifically
him.
provable.
We're just gonna
it
conclude.
is under the circumstances, it is entirely plausible. It is actually probably about 75% plausible, as opposed to your let's go dig up a beacon and then I don't know what's gonna happen, but who gives a shit? It's a terrible idea.
Fuck
You're
it, it's a
gonna
game.
die.
Don't you want to gamble?
Okay, let's go to the ocean. I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, right! Yes, he has a gambling addiction.
I hate you. Fine. You know what? If we get there and you die,
It's
or
still a
anything bad
gamble
happens,
going to the forest.
Yeah,
anyway.
there's more
but this is
gamble
a
going
bigger
back.
gamble.
Oh,
Actually, there's
well
as much
played,
gamble
Skelbo.
going back.
Can I just
It's
shoot?
not
we
as much
both
gamble,
don't know
but
what's going on.
here's the difference
You know
though: is we get this shiny thing, and we take it to the ocean. We at least have something. We go in the woods, we're fucked.
We don't even need that thing. It's completely
do we?
useless.
It's my antenna.
How do you
It
know?
boosted our range.
Because it's
I'll
done
bet you it's
nothing
not.
good for us.
You know
Okay.
what? I would like to. Here, I will actually just. I guess. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna walk up to the device and I'm gonna disable device. Because I have that skill. I'm gonna see if I can just fiddle with it and disable the entire thing. 8 plus 6, 14.
Nope.
You just destroy. Okay, good. You didn't.
I
But you're
know,
still a
I saw
twat.
The entire thing. The entire thing.
Ugh.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so it's now 3 people going to the ocean and possibly Kurt and Damien going off on their own.
Well, I'm going with that guy? No, I'm going to the ocean.
You stupid mall cop.
Mall cop or mall cock?
Cop.
Mall cop. You
Why
said
not
either
both?
one.
Okay.
Why
Why
not
not
both? Oh man.
Okay, so you guys decide to continue off down to the ocean. You hook your floating boat of supplies up to Donkey Man again, Alex, and you head off following the river back towards the ocean again.
Oh,
So it's quite a long journey. You're out on the plains. It's quite obvious. There's a few clumps of sort of like oasis-like bushes and things near the shore of the river.
Okay, while we're traveling, I want to keep my eye out on my equipment for any more magnetic disturbances in case we can find another beacon.
Okay, that's fine. Just sort of carrying along, finding little clumps of bushes, this and that. Again, you see a few more of the insectile creatures just puttering along in little groups of 4 or 5. They seem to pretty much ignore you.
I want to run a spot just to see if there's any colonies of them versus just like groups of them where they'd be heading back
what's your
to.
score?
My score is a 19 plus 11.
Okay.
Yeah, 30.
As far as you can tell, they don't seem to be going into any of the underground tunnels that you noticed. The entrance is too near the ship where you crashed. They seem to be headed across the plain, in and out of areas of natural vegetation, so like potentially foraging groups, things like that.
Okay.
So it's a long walk. It's 13 miles, but it's a few hours later. The sun's crept across the sky a little bit. You're all feeling quite unpleasantly warm, and you sort of start to come into view of the ocean. You start to come into view of the edge of the plains area near down towards the ocean. It becomes a bit marshy. The vegetation's a little bit kind of spread out. And as you get closer to the ocean, there's a kind of dip, kind of valley starting to form, where the ground drops away slightly, and there's a river at the bottom of it, and a little bit of an in-cave area. And this seems to be kind of like leading down towards the beach, getting wider and wider, a little bit like the mouth of a river or the mouth of a sort of cut-in river. Roll spot checks for me.
Okay. Oh, how'd I roll again?
17.
17 plus 6, 23.
I only got a 13.
6.
Let's see. Math. I got a 10.
Okay. If you want an easier way to roll, some people like throwing it. Vagabond likes just tapping R. So if you put your mouse over the top of it and just hit R.
R?
Let me do that because
Alright.
I think turn like once. Okay, so
And
I
that
got
gives you
a 11. Yay.
Okay. So we've got a little bit of information that you can pull out. Most of you notice that along the edges of this sort of down cut, there appears to be some rock faces, and then there also appears to be some vegetation overgrown constructions. If you were on another planet, you might hesitate to call them man-made structures that have been overgrown. You can't see much to do with them. At this point where you're walking along the top of this cut down into the valley, the faces are probably about 30 foot tall. But you can see down to the other side, and you can see down, if you lean over, you can see down to the edge of yours, and you can see that the kind of vegetation growth is the kind that you would expect on structures rather than on natural ground. So it looks like something might have been cut into the rock and built there. Extremely skilled person who got 23 in spot. You pick out a few pieces of machinery, a few broken areas of the construction. You can see a few areas where the construction's fallen away, and there seems to be machinery. You can't see what it is from this distance, but there seems to be kind of like what you'd expect for kind of large, heavy-duty industrial machinery.
Okay.
Okay, I want to consult my briefcase of navigation +2 to see if this was the main source of the signal or whether there's anything else further.
How far off is the construction machinery?
You're looking down the kind of like 30-foot cliff face to the other side of the cutting, so it's probably like 50 foot away, 60 foot away.
Oh, okay. All right. That's. I mean, let's check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
clearly there was at least something sentient here, whether it's person or
Crab monster. But yeah.
crab people.
Crab people.
Crab people. Looks like crab, talk like
Well,
people.
if we're gonna check it out, can I ask a question?
Mhm.
Well, is it kind of like open, or is it kind of like you're going into something building?
It's more like you're going into
Or
a building,
ruined?
bit like a ruined
Okay.
structure.
Okay.
Yes.
Can we set up in a patrol group, like more experienced people to the front and back?
Yes, that's fine. If you want to set a
Squish.
patrol group.
Keep the squish in the middle.
Yeah, like I can go to the
All right.
back, or
All right, so why don't we get
Mall
the
Cop can go towards the back.
so why don't we get the armor tank up front? Let's get Mall Cop at the back. I'll go in behind the Iron Man with my rifle, and I mean, let's just have the map guy keep checking that shit while we walk,
I'll watch
and then
that
have.
guy.
All right, beauty.
He
All right.
has the least experience in combat.
Least experience. Period.
Okay, so from what I gathered from that, we've got Alex, played by Scaldera, up front, followed behind by Eric. We've got Percival in the middle, and then we've got Damien and Kurt pulling up the rear.
Correct.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys head on down. It's a bit of a climb, but between the three of you, it's not massively difficult. It's not something that I'd expect you to have to roll for. However, I am going to roll dice to see if any of you slip and fall, because a critical one's still a critical one. Nah, none of you slip and fall.
Yay,
Oh, well.
I didn't die.
Yay!
So you head on down. It's a little bit of a climb, but it's 30 foot, and the edges are reasonably kind of sloped and rough. It's basically more of a scramble than a climb down. And you wind up on the near side of the river, and you find out now that you're down on the floor of this 30-foot deep valley, that starting roughly 100 foot behind you and extending on about as far as you can see, both sides of the valley wall seem to have been cut into and seem to have had machinery or sort of buildings dug into them and created out of metal inside the cutaways.
Okay, so we're near the mouth of a river. How far are we away from the ocean area now?
About a mile and a half.
Okay, I still want to check the walls. Does it look like there is any remnants of like a water line up the walls? Like, do we have to worry about a tide here?
That's really rather intelligent.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah.
You're welcome, buddy.
I mean, hey, you deal
That's
with
the smartest thing
magnets and
Toad
stuff.
said all week.
So
Oh shit! Shots fired,
Hey,
dude.
welcome to my channel. Everybody gang up on me. Woo!
I won't gang up on you. I'll beat you down solo. It's okay.
So there's vegetation and the kinds of vegetation you'd expect in a dark, warm place. There's moss and mold and algae. Roll life sciences 50.
Hitting the wrong button.
Plus 12.
Plus 12, 15. Okay, so you can roughly guess that because the algae line is about thigh high, this place has never been more than thigh high in water. The algae goes up to about thigh high. Above thigh high, it's more like moss and plant life and vine life. So, like at most, this place has been thigh deep in water.
All right.
Okay.
When was the? Can I tell when the last time it was filled with water?
Not the 3.
was?
Not the 3. No.
Okay. Can I? Shit, I didn't think so.
Okay, well,
Okay.
you know how we said that we're gonna stop like when we're out in the middle of the plains? Well, we never stopped.
Yep.
We're now 45 minutes into this video,
yes,
so I think
let's
we
stop
should
here.
take a little bit of a break and then we'll be right back.
Beauty. Beauty.